Oh hey, if you like turning absolute wrecks into Anthropologie dupes, you're gonna love today's episode. This is Laugh Cry DIY. I'm your girl Katie, and today we are doing a fresh flip. It's been raining, I don't know what to do with myself, which means I must paint. And today we are going to paint this $35 Facebook Marketplace gem. I bought this dresser because it's very specific dimensions and it fits inside my closet perfectly. But as you can see, she's a hot mess. Let's talk about my favorite features. Loose handles, chipped veneer, dents and scratches. Like many a brave, powerful woman, she has clearly been through the ringer. I've been wanting to make her over for a while, but I didn't know what to do, and so I went to my favorite website, www.anthropologie.com, and I fell in love with this, the Thalia Carved Dresser. It's beautiful, it's cute, it retails for almost $1,800. But I realized that I had all the supplies on hand to actually dupe that in this version. And so that is what we're gonna do today. Let's go. Step one, we are getting this janky hardware off. Now before I start doing anything, I'm gonna drill new hardware holes. And for that, I'm using my good old standard classic cabinet jig template, which lets you measure the holes and mark them appropriately. If you're ever doing like cabinetry or furniture flipping, this queen will change your life. So I am just marking my center point first, in the most uncomfortable position possible. So unfortunately, I do not have wood filler here. This is a personal project, it's not that big a deal. But I am gonna just add in some spackle in the middle as I can to cover up the existing hole. These holes are actually pretty big, so I might have to stuff this with a little bit of like paper towel inside. But you know what, that's just the way life goes. This is called innovation, people. Pro tip, if you yourself have a hole in drywall that is like too big to fill with spackle alone, too small to fill with a full patch, stuff some paper towel in. This will also be covered by the new handle, so whatever. And I'm just wiping that flat. And time to templatize. And you better believe I'm still using the most uncomfortable position possible. And now, it's the moment of terror. I always try to remember to pre-drill holes before painting. When furniture painters drill them after, I'm so nervous for them. Especially because we're gonna be doing a lot of like hand-detailed hand painting on this, and I am not about to have to redo that. Let's go. FYI, every time I drill holes for hardware, I always try to go back in and kind of like widen the hole a little bit, make sure it's going in like straight and cleanly, because sometimes you're drilling it in at an angle. Just to make sure that that wide hole is nice and wide and will give room for the screw to go through. Does that make sense? I had already wiped this down, always wipe down your furniture, but while the spackle hole's dry, we are gonna hit this one with a 220, just to give it a nice scuff to grip the paint. You know, something I love is knowing that you are a second generation DIYer on a piece, because you can tell that this was stained. You can see all the kind of the sloppy stains within. But I love that. I just love to know like, hey, whoever had this, you did your thing, I'm gonna do mine, we can all live peacefully. One note, there is veneer chipping all over this. You can see it like in the corner. I don't have wood filler, I don't have new veneer. I'm just gonna paint over it even if the soft wood is exposed, because we're gonna be doing a hand painted detail that's kind of busy and it's gonna be fine, nobody knows, it's my life. Let me live it, Mom. Wipe down time, baby. FYI, I'm only doing the fronts of it. I could be doing the sides, but to be honest, I'm a little nervous that I don't have enough supplies on hand. So just to be safe, I'm just gonna do the fronts and anything that's visible. Also, this piece has beveled edges on all of the rim, and I hate that about it because it's a pain to sand. And can be a pain to paint a little bit depending on how impatient you are. And you better believe I knocked my water over, but ew. You see it? Ew. So now I am going to prime these. 1, to get the paint to stick. 2, because this is like a dark reddish color, and if you're painting it white, it may have some bleed through, and we don't want that. So I am using the Zinser 123 water-based primer. This is what I had on hand. It is gray. I would normally do white, but we are working with what we've got. And this is just, like I said, this will help it stick. This will help us get a nice clean coat, and we'll go over back with white. Are you guys scared for my wallpaper? Me too. Let's be a little more gentle, huh? No. All right, you guys, we have 2 coats of primer on, and I'll be sanding and wiping down, and we'll be back to paint it white. Ooh, baby, it's nighttime and it's white time. This is like a very, very light cream, which I had in my stash, which is perfect because the original is also more of a cream color as opposed to like a very bright white. Dry and back to sanding. Ooh, baby, would you look at this? Only 4 coats of paint later, we have a beautifully white dresser. Thank you so much. So next up, we are going to be tracing the pattern on it. I will be painting this pattern on, and technically the Thalia Carved Dresser is carved. The actual lines are somewhat irregular. So we are gonna trace this on, we're gonna paint it on, but we're gonna be a little loosey-goosey with it because it doesn't have to be perfectly perfect. And therefore, step 1, I've created a very, very rough template. And to put it on, I'm using a mix of orange chalk and an orange chalk pencil. The arch is a little, you know. As for these kind of side triangles, I am just kind of free-handing those a little bit to match the arch. Ooh. Next up, I need to make the ticking lines, and I'm just using, this is a box cutter, but I'm just using the edge as the spacer. I'm lazy, I don't care for measurement. Okay, one thing that is important is for this particular design is that these little tick lines, you want them to match the one below it. And I mean, I'm loosey-goosey with measurement, but I want to make sure that those do look consistent. So I'm like butting these 2 up against each other to make sure that those lines do look correct. Because it's the kind of thing where it starts off like 1 millimeter off and then it ends up 2 inches off. Story of my life. Thank you so much. So you can see how they all kind of do or don't line up. So everything's looking pretty aligned. It is paint time, and I'm going to be using, for the paint color, French Croissant, which is a leftover color from when I did my console table, and that kind of became a disaster. So I was looking for a way to use this up. The good thing is that although the original design is hand carved, the wood is very close to this color. This is like a very, just a pretty kind of like oaky beige. Executive decision. I think that this looks too peach. And so I am going to just add some white in just to cut that color a little bit. Okay, yes, I believe that that was the right choice. I also believe that at this point it's too late. The lines are a little bit wonky, but that's actually perfect for the style, and so far I am really, really loving it. To me, it's giving a little bit boho, fun, eclectic, global, and I really like that. Now you better believe I did introduce a mistake on the first one. 2 lines are like slightly off, and therefore I'm gonna have to line them up and ensure that all of the lines all the way down are off for all of them. Great. Now, if this were a flat front, I wouldn't have to worry about this, but I am making sure, because these have beveled edges, I do need to like continue the pattern on down to the edges and really lay these edges, ladies. Great news. That took one listening to of the Beyonce Renaissance album and 22 plays of Miley Cyrus Flowers. It is looking so much better than I thought it would be. Very happy with it. I am gonna let it dry. I'm gonna go in and clean up the chalk because in some places I can't tell what is a line and what is chalk. I'll probably do a second coat and we will come back when she's dry. Also, I have decided to spray paint these gold handles from gold to gold. The particular finish on this is a little bit cool toned, and this is very warm. And I know for a fact my favorite metallic gold just gives it a little bit more of a warmer tint. So we're gonna do that because I'm crazy. You guys see the difference? I don't know if you can, but it's important. Oh hey, let's get these bad boys back in and let's get some hardware on. As you can see, our gold handles are so drastically different. Trust me, they are, okay? Wow, you guys, look at that. A handle that does not jiggle. Ah, don't look, don't look. All right, you guys, she's dressed, she's glammed, she's beautiful, and she is ready for her final reveal. Well, you guys, that was today's wonderful, easy, simple flip. I am so happy with how this turned out. So simple, so nice to do something on a budget, super cheap with supplies I already had. So thank you for coming along on this flipping journey. I hope you guys are inspired to make over something in your house. And please, please, I always ask you guys, send me nudes online, AKA send me pictures of furniture you flipped. I'm always curious to see what other people are doing. I love to see it. I'm a freak, what can I say? So if you like this video, like it. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. And until next time, go flip yourself something cute. Adios, baby.